Have you ever left a conversation feeling drained? Unsure why? Not because they yelled or insulted you. They were calm, kind, even praising you with genuine warmth. Yet, you walk away, hollow, doubting yourself, uneasy for reasons you can't name. That's not your imagination. It's a sign you've crossed paths with a shadowed soul, cloaked in kindness, concern, and charm. A dark heart doesn't always show its teeth. They don't slam doors, shout, or cut you down openly. Their words are chosen with precision. They speak what you long to hear, then subtly weave into your emotions, pulling you down, making you question your worth. Maybe it's a coworker who praises you while quietly sabotaging your path, or a loved one who claims affection but slowly drains you, day by day. Today's video isn't about dramatic evil or fear-mongering. Instead, we'll calmly but clearly explore 5 types of people with hidden malice, not to judge or harden your heart, but to understand. More crucially, to learn how to shield yourself, preserving your inner peace like a Stoic sage, steady, resolute, unshaken. First, the manipulator disguised as a friend. You'll never hear them raise their voice. No overt pressure, nor blatant insults. They approach with kindness, warm words, and a nod of goodwill. But look closely after each encounter. You feel smaller, less confident, questioning yourself more than the day before. This is the manipulator posing as your ally. They don't control you with force. They control you by creating the illusion you need them to feel validated. They offer advice that sounds sincere. You're truly gifted. But sometimes you act a bit recklessly. Maybe it's a lack of experience. It sounds helpful, but you leave feeling inadequate. Their danger lies in their subtlety. You don't realize you're being manipulated. They position themselves as your guide, your confidant, the one who cares most. Beneath the surface, they plant seeds of self-doubt, just enough to mold you to their liking. I knew a man like this once. He'd praise me in meetings, call me a natural leader, but in private talks with the boss, he'd casually mention my instability and need for oversight. At first, I trusted his feedback as honest. Only when I was sidelined from key projects did I see he wasn't helping me grow. He wanted me beneath him, believing I needed him. In truth, the opposite was true. Stoicism teaches us to stay sharp, not angry. Marcus Aurelius never urged rage against such people. He taught us to observe them like a bystander, using them as practice for clarity and calm. Epictetus wrote, "You can't control what others say about you, but you decide what enters your mind." That's the core lesson. Manipulators don't defeat you with actions. They do it through hints, words, and subtle influence on your self-belief. But if you stay clear-headed and anchor yourself in your own worth, their words are mere whispers in the wind. They may not hate you, but they don't want you to outshine them. As a Stoic, your aim isn't to cut them off rashly, but to create inner distance, never letting anyone define your value but you. Second, the false friend. These people don't show overt negativity. They don't hurt you directly. In fact, they make you feel like they're your greatest ally. They listen, agree, and cheer you on. But notice this, they're only there when you're at your lowest. When you rise, grow stronger, they fade, or, worse, turn sarcastic. These are the ones who cherish your weakest self. They want you emotionally dependent, but they're never truly happy when you grow. At first, they seem like your safe haven, understanding you like no one else. But as you evolve, even positively, they pull back. You'll hear them say things like, "Wow, you've really changed. Not the same guy anymore." As if growth is something to be ashamed of. As if not needing them is betrayal. Their jokes hit your deepest insecurities. Like, looking sharp today, trying to turn back time. They call it playful. But you know it's not love. It's something else. Not closeness, but mockery veiled in a smile. I had a friend like this once. She was there when I was down. Comforting, caring, always available. But when I found my path, took care of myself, and learned to say no, she drifted away. Then came messages like, "You've changed a lot. Too busy for old friends now." I hadn't grown cold. I just stopped feeding her emotional need. Stoicism doesn't teach us to cut people off with loud declarations. Seneca said it best. Don't despise those who aren't genuine. See them as a test of your clarity and inner calm. If you want a mirror for true kindness, watch how someone treats you when they realize you don't need them anymore. Real friends lift you up and embrace your growth. False friends only value you when you're broken, because then they hold emotional power over you. Stoicism reminds us that true connection doesn't shrink you, doesn't make you doubt, and never uses guilt to stunt your growth. They try to keep you in a place that comforts them. Remember this, you owe no one your stagnation. If someone only loves you when you're weak, that's not friendship. It's dependency dressed up as affection. As a Stoic, you don't make a scene. You quietly walk away and keep growing stronger. Third, the controller. They don't shout, "I own you." No commands. No threats. No force. They wield something subtler emotion, and because it's cloaked as love, it's easy to mistake control for care. Controllers are often close spouses, family, or old friends. They don't forbid outright. They suggest. They don't demand. They worry. They say, "I'm uneasy about you hanging out with that guy." Or, "That outfit doesn't suit your age. People will talk." Or, "Working so far from home, aren't you worried about being taken advantage of?" It sounds reasonable. It feels protective. But look closer. They're shrinking your world. Every choice becomes an emotional negotiation. They don't want your independence. They want you reliant on them for security. The worst part, they make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. You want time alone. They sulk. You reconnect with old friends. They turn cold. You decline their requests. They withdraw quietly, saying how disappointed they are. They don't chain you with ropes, but with guilt. I heard of a woman, married 20 years. Her husband never yelled or raised a hand, but over time, she lost her friends, gave up her hobbies, stopped doing anything alone. She said, "He just wanted what's best for me. But I felt like I was living in a glass cage." That's the prison of overprotection Stoics warn against. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Freedom isn't just breaking chains but refusing to let your mind be swayed by others' emotions." When you act to appease someone else's feelings, you're living their life, not yours. Ask yourself, am I living to keep them content or to grow as myself? True love doesn't demand you stay close. It wants you strong, free, and choosing to return, not bound by emotional ties. Stoicism doesn't preach rebellion, but teaches us to draw a clear line between care and control, connection and confinement. You can stay in the relationship, but it must not define you. You can love without losing yourself. As Epictetus said, if something costs your inner peace, no matter its name, it's not worth it. Fourth, the saboteur. Not everyone attacks with harsh words or obvious actions. Some choose a quieter path. They don't confront you directly or openly support you. They don't stop your success. But they don't celebrate it either. They're there, but often the first to make you doubt yourself. These are often long-time friends, close colleagues, or even family. They don't do anything blatantly wrong, at least not on the surface. But notice this, whenever you're excited about something, they're the first to mention risks, failure, or reasons it might not work. You say, "I'm starting a small business." They reply, "The economy's tough. Most startups fail. Think hard before you leap." You say, "I'm learning a new skill." They counter, "At our age, what's the point? Just relax." They don't stop you outright, but they sow quiet doubts. Their warnings, cloaked as care, make you hesitate, second guess, even retreat. I knew a man like this. Every time I geared up for something new, he'd offer advice. Never harsh, never loud, just gentle, sensible concern. "I'm just looking out for you. That path's tough. You're fine as is. Why stress yourself?" At first, I was grateful, but I soon saw he only showed up when I was about to grow. Each time, I left feeling hazier, more doubtful. The danger of silent sabotage is it mimics friendship, sounds like care, feels like support. That's why it's so hard to spot. But if sharing your dreams with someone leaves you feeling smaller, less excited, less sure, it's not care. It's emotional control, disguised as realism. It's a subtle erosion of your spirit under the guise of sincerity. Marcus Aurelius said, "The wise don't need others' approval to do what's right. They only need to stay true to themselves." That's a Stoic truth to live by. Don't let anyone else define what's right for you, especially those who plant doubt while pretending to care. If someone always highlights what could go wrong, making you pause more than act, step back. Not because they're evil, but because they may not be ready to see you shine. And that discomfort, conscious or not, drives them to keep you small. Stoicism doesn't teach us to distrust everyone or cut ties coldly, but it does teach this. A clear mind is your strongest shield. Keep your mind like a mirror, reflecting truth. See who lifts you, who hinders you. Once you see clearly, you don't need to argue, prove, or explain. Just keep moving forward with strength, leaving them behind. Fifth, the energy drainer. Not everyone harms with cruel words or clear actions. Some just exhaust you by being near. They don't insult, criticize, or control. Yet, every moment with them leaves you heavy, tired, even guilty for feeling that way. Energy drainers live in constant negativity, always a complaint, a wound, an injustice to share. They don't attack you directly, but drag you into their emotional abyss without you noticing. At first, you think you're just being a good listener. You empathize, support, show up. But over time, you dread their name on your phone. You avoid meeting them. After every talk, you sit in silence, as if you've weathered a storm. They say, "You're the only one I can talk to." Guilt keeps you there. They say, "Nothing ever works for me. No one really cares." You try to comfort them, but they reply. It's easy for you to say, "You don't get it." In time, you see it's not about solutions. They don't seek healing. Their pain defines them. And playing the victim is how they gain attention. They don't need rescue. They need an audience. And, sadly, you've become that audience. Stoicism doesn't demand coldness, but it offers a vital truth. You can't fill another's cup when yours is empty. Epictetus said, "True care isn't bearing every burden, but choosing what to carry and what to release." You're free to stop hearing the same old tale repeated for years. I had a friend like this once. I gave time, energy, support. I listened, advised, tried everything. But nothing I said changed a thing. It wasn't about growth. They needed me to validate their pain, to affirm their victimhood. One day, I stepped back. No anger, no dramatic end. I just created distance to protect my strength, not out of selfishness, but because I knew if I'm depleted, my presence is no gift, it's just an empty gesture. Remember, you weren't born to carry the world's weight on your shoulders. Love doesn't require endless sacrifice. Kindness doesn't mean abandoning your boundaries. If someone drains you constantly, pause and ask, am I helping them? Or am I chained to their pain? If the answer stings, that's your signal to step back, reclaim your energy, and set a new boundary. Because, as Stoicism teaches, to bring light to others, your inner fire must burn strong first. After spotting these types, the cunning manipulator, the false friend, the controlling protector, the subtle saboteur, and the energy drainer, you might wonder what now. Cut them off. Avoid them. Confront them. Speak up. Or stay silent. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, but there's a clear path. Respond like a Stoic. Stoicism doesn't ask you to be rigid or unfeeling. It calls for conscious action, not getting swept into others' emotional games, not letting their negativity reshape you, and never allowing their poison to rob your inner peace. With manipulators, stay vigilant. Watch their words like an outsider, observing a scene, not trapped in their web of subtle implications. Ask yourself, am I acting on my values? Or am I swayed by their quiet influence with false friends? Don't waste energy explaining or fixing the bond. You don't need to prove you haven't changed or still care. True allies rejoice in your growth. Those who don't will guilt you for moving forward. You owe no apology for your progress. Just keep walking the path that aligns with your true self. For controllers, stay calm and firm. Don't react with anger. Say gently, I value your concern, but this is my choice. I'll own the outcome. A Stoic doesn't need others' approval to do what's right, just clarity of mind. With saboteurs, don't bother exposing or accusing them. Just create space. Stop sharing your deepest aspirations, and they'll fade away naturally. You don't need applause from those waiting for your stumble. Focus on your path. That's what you truly control. And with energy drainers, know that kindness doesn't mean exhaustion. You can still care. But set limits. Say, I need some space today. I'll listen when I'm ready. That's not selfishness, it's self-regulation. The bedrock of Stoic practice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you're angry at someone, ask, am I giving them power over my mind?" That's a truth every Stoic must hold close. When your peace wavers, be it anger, pain, or frustration, pause and ask, am I choosing this reaction, or am I being pulled into it? The highest freedom in Stoicism isn't banishing toxic people, they'll always exist. It's mastering how you respond to them. You can walk away from a heated talk without losing your calm. You can choose not to retaliate, explain, or justify, and still know you've done right. Because, in the end, toxic people only win when they make you lose yourself. A true Stoic never lets that happen. If you're starting to see these patterns in those around you, don't fear. You don't need to change them, just how you react to them. And once you do, you've taken a bold step toward mastering your life with the calm strength of a Stoic. Don't waste time trying to fix the toxic. Don't blame yourself for letting them in. See them as challenges that sharpen your growth, clarify your purpose, and build your self-mastery. Each time you hold your boundaries, choose silence over reaction, or walk away in peace, you're closer to inner freedom. And if there's one thing to carry from this video, it's this: you don't need to defeat them. You just need to ensure they don't pull you down. Choose peace over reaction, progress over approval, and you've won in the truest, most Stoic way. Thanks for watching to the end. If this resonated, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it.